Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had a wonderful weekend so far. Today we're going to be diving into Chainlink. This is a project that we've really covered since the inception of our channel, and we used to give frequent updates on Chainlink, and we potentially will get back to doing that. But today I'm going to be telling you why I have an extremely bullish outlook on Link for 2022. Chainlink is one of the most important components of crypto DeFi. Essentially, you wouldn't have a lot of the DeFi protocols that you have today without Chainlink. It has embedded itself in the very foundations of what makes DeFi up. And we're going to get into that. We're going to start by very briefly, I know some of you are hardened Link Marines, very briefly getting into what Chainlink is again for people who are new to it. We're going to be discussing, taking a little look at this video that I made nearly a year ago now, when we first sort of launched the channel, and we were talking about Link and why we think it stands a good chance of getting towards $300. I still believe that. Yes, we haven't played out in a typical Bitcoin 4-year cycle theory where we saw a parabolic end to 2021. We do subscribe to the lengthening cycle theory, and we ultimately think that Chainlink, as crypto grows, one thing that's so brilliant about Chainlink is it's embedded itself in the very foundations of DeFi. And as DeFi grows and gains more exposure, thus Chainlink grows with it. And the reason being is because essentially you wouldn't have a lot of the DeFi protocols that you have today without Chainlink. Now, why is that? Well, I'll very quickly explain what Chainlink is. We'll get into some of the statistics that have me so excited about Link, and then we'll really kind of tie it all up. So what is Chainlink? Chainlink is an Oracle blockchain. So essentially, Chainlink is, when you think about an oracle is somebody you go to for knowledge and wisdom. Chainlink is that to blockchain. One inherent problem that blockchains have is they're very good at using on-chain data that's native to the chain, but they can't gain off-chain data. So, for example, what's the weather, which is something that Chainlink's actually grown quite a lot of usage in doing. So when you have these smart contracts, and that's really all DeFi is, it's, DeFi is built predominantly on these smart contract blockchains, like ETHEREUM, like SOLANA, soon to be like Cardano, like Terra, like POLKADOT, like Avalanche. And essentially these DeFi protocols need to get a reliable data source that delivers that data in a decentralized way. And that's where Chainlink steps in. And it was really, when we saw the DeFi summer for Ethereum, Chainlink was behind all of that. Now, in the past year, Chainlink's been quite lackluster, not done a lot really in comparison with other coins. And that's due to the fact that it hasn't had the hype surrounding it. However, within that year, they've been making some absolutely groundbreaking achievements. And this is the main value proposition for me with Chainlink is, as the DeFi space grows, and it's still a very small space that's yet to see any sort of real significant adoption other than degens like myself farming the hell out of it, you're going to see Chainlink grow with it. So that's essentially what Chainlink is. It's an oracle. It's a data feed, if you will. And this is a total value secured via Chainlink is $76 billion. Now, Chainlink's market cap, when we made this video ages ago, Chainlink, the current price of Chainlink at that time was $16. I've been in Chainlink since sub $1. This is something that I've had a very good history with. I think I got it from one of Tika Tawari's picks, potentially, or had heard it via that. I can't quite remember what really pricked my ears towards it, but it's done very well for me, and I still hold and haven't taken profits on a single link because I think it has a huge future ahead of it. Chainlink is, for me, an investment. It's not a flip. It's a project that I'm invested in, thinking that it's going to really have and play a key role in the blockchain future that we're moving towards, and it's done that. So it was around about $16. This was around about, when was this? January, the start of January, just before January. So we'll get into the price of Chainlink back here. So we were talking about Chainlink when it was kind of up here, ladies and gentlemen. So it's had this sort of pump after we had made that first video, and then it came down and consolidated. This is a very common trait that you can see throughout Chainlink's history of it kind of growing, coming back down. We got into Chainlink round about here, and you can see it had a big pump. It comes back down, it consolidates for a time period before then setting up to go and make on another one, and so on and so forth. And you're coming out of that consolidation period, in my opinion. Why is this? Well, like I say, I think we're going to see a real growth. Fundamental reasons are, I think we're going to see a real growth in DeFi and a real usage for Chainlink. And as somebody that's big on Cardano, we know that Cardano recently partnered with Chainlink. Everybody's partnered with Chainlink. It secures it is the oracle for the majority of DeFi apps, and not only that, blockchains. So we'll start with this thread, and then we'll finish off with the price. Chainlink today is currently 16th in terms of market cap. I think there's a lot of coins that should actually be above. Certainly Doge and Sheep, because they have no real use and utility, in my opinion. Just my opinion, guys. You guys have your opinions, and that's absolutely fine. And it's what makes the world such a beautiful place, is that we disagree. But it's undervalued where it is today, and I think there's going to be a huge resurgence to it. And when I said I think we could get towards $300 and above, I really meant it, and I still think that's certainly the case. So this is the first one. The total value secured, TVS, of the Chainlink network surpasses $75 billion, a 10x increase on the previous year. Chainlink now supports 700 plus Oracle networks, with Oracle feeding market data and other data sets on-chain, such as weather, data, sports, stats, proof of reserve, and more. So Chainlink really solved a problem that hadn't been solved before, and that was, if you want to execute a smart contract and eliminate that third-party risk, how do you make sure that the data that executes that smart contract is truthful, secure, and immutable? And that's where Chainlink steps in, and that's why it's done so well. So despite the fact that in the past year we've seen very lackluster price action, it's just been growing and growing and growing, and there's more sort of fundamental reasons to be bullish on Chainlink down here than what we had up here. And this is, price is often a very unfair representation of value, but it does get realized in the long term. Use and utility is what will drive these projects in the long term. So this is the second one. The Chainlink ecosystem now consists of 1,000+ projects, with half of all integrations taking place in 2021. It's been a huge year for these guys. They've also had upgrades and so on and so forth. Chainlink applications secure the majority of total value locked across DeFi, lending, and derivatives market, supported by Oracle networks that bring critical market data on chain. And you can see, they've just been growing and growing and growing. Everybody is partnered with Chainlink, essentially, and that's the real value proposition that you have there. This is thread number 3. Chainlink Oracle have served 2.5 million requests for secure off-chain computation. Chainlink VRF and Chainlink Keepers have expanded support to more blockchains, providing developers access to secure and reliable sources of verifiable randomness and DevOps automation. So there's a number of other features that Chainlink can actually do for sort of RPG, or not RPG, sorry, for random sort of generations of things. So you could integrate Chainlink in like gaming and stuff like the scope for it. It's not just DeFi specific. You can do a lot with it. I mean, the concept of truthful data is something, I mean, we could apply this to media, or we certainly should, but that's for another video, I guess. So this is thread number 4. As a blockchain agnostic protocol, Chainlink has expanded to support 12 chains and layer 2 solutions. When Chainlink oracles are deployed on a new network, the on-chain ecosystem experiences a surge of growth as developers are empowered by building more advanced dApps. Cardano isn't on here. Reason being is because Cardano hasn't yet. They have one smart contract. Or no, they've got a number of smart contracts. They've got one dApp called MuesliSwap. They're about to get an absolute cascade of dApps coming online, and the majority of them are choosing Chainlink as their main oracle. Growth for Chainlink and reliable and secure data feeds for Cardano. So we're unbelievably bullish on Chainlink, and we always have been. It's just something that we've it's fallen to the wayside a little bit. There's been more sort of explosive growth on other chains that are sort of newer, but this is something that we did used to cover regularly that we'll probably get back to doing, certainly as I think this is going to be a hell of a good year for Link. So this is thread number 5. Across 2 Chainlink hackathons, there were 11,000 plus signups, 420 plus submissions, and $730,000 in prizes. The open source dev ecosystem supporting Chainlink has rapidly grown, with 3,300 plus pull requests from 180 plus contributors in 2021, and 4,000 plus GitHub repos now referencing Chainlink. So that's huge. We can see the growth is here. We've only got 2 more to get through, guys, and then we'll wrap this video up. Chainlink is leading Oracle network in terms of enterprise adoption. Top enterprises like AP, AccuWeather, AWS, GCP, and Swisscom join the Chainlink ecosystem to access the blockchain economy and help the Chainlink network deliver 1.1 billion plus data points on chain. So these guys are actually seeing institutional interest, corporate interest, which is another really valuable thing. For weather, for example, you know, they can guarantee that the weather information they get is secured in a decentralized fashion that incentivizes people to come. They've got a really cool incentivization method. I don't really want to get into the technicals too much. Essentially, they economically incentivize. You can see me rubbing my head because blockchain hurts my brain at times. But one thing that hurts my brain about it is how genius some of it is. I mean, they've economically incentivized people to tell the truth, basically, in a way that you'd be completely shooting yourself in the foot if you didn't. So 7, Chainlink is supporting the growth of the multi-chain ecosystem by developing the cross-chain interoperability protocols. Cross-chain innovation is set to unlock massive value across global industries and help enable the shift to world powered by cryptographic truth. That's the world we're moving towards, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to leave it. I'm going to love and leave you on that one, guys. Essentially, you can see common trait for Chainlink: pump, consolidation, pump, consolidation. Let's see where the next pump takes us, ladies and gentlemen. I'm confident it's coming. Reason I'm confident, you know, you can see throughout Chainlink's history: pump, consolidation, pump, consolidation, and so on and so forth. And the next sort of stage is that pump, in my opinion. Fundamental reasons for this, technical reasons for this, and so on and so forth. So if you enjoyed the video, guys, a like is always appreciated. So is a comment. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll hopefully catch you all in the next YouTube video. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen.